part 2. So yesterday finished up this one. Today I'm going to return the plug for it, which is going to join 2 together. That one came up pretty cool. Not 100% sure if I'm going to get enough out of this one, so we're just going to crack into it and hope for the best, I guess. Hey Eric, thanks for joining me again, mate. Making part 2 today. Second urn going along in that collection from yesterday. Going to be joined together by the cap. I'm hoping we can get it out of this piece. Not entirely sure, but I am hoping that it pans out. So g'day if you're watching along, guys. I know you're there. Had quite a chat yesterday during the live stream, so say g'day. All good, Eric. No dramas at all, man. No dramas at all. Who else have we got in today? Say good day in the chat if you're hanging out, guys. We're putting together part 2 of yesterday's project. Oh, that's looking nice. Gonna be a bit touch and go with this piece, I think, because there's a lot of tear out there. Damn. We're already basically the thinnest we can be, but this is the first one from yesterday's build. Doing a matching pair. But that is probably going to be bordering on too thin. Once we get through that tear out. Let's grab the other one and put it next to it. See. I mean, it's not too different. You guys can't see that, can you? So from the same tree, matching pair that's going to join together at the top. A little bit of extra length in this one. That is not great. There's a lot of tear out there, which means bringing that top end down thickness, which isn't ideal. See what we can do. Okay, well, that's good. Got rid of most of it there, actually. Okay. Bring myself to do it. bit more of a taper. Not quite the same shape as the other one. So we're going to bring that down a bit, refine it a bit more. Just as I was about to start sanding too. Oh, legends, who's there? What did you find? Hey, g'day, Mike. What did you find out about the size needs from your buddy? I assume it was big enough or you wouldn't be doing a second one. Didn't really confirm size needs as such. He is spreading a portion of the ashes on the property as well. So we should be good there. He quite likes the look. He was actually on the street yesterday. So he quite likes the look of it. And we're moving on with the second one. We're going to remake the plug today though because it is loose, unfortunately. I'll show you why. So that was the plug that I put together. It was supposed to be a friction fit. Unfortunately, after sanding, amateur mistake, it's a bit loose. But the idea is that this one will then cap straight in there. And then they'll both this will stay decorative for the time being, so that one can sit on a shelf by itself. And then once the second one is due to be used, it can be added straight to the top here, and there'll be two connected pieces. But that still is functional but decorative enough to sort of sit and be seen. That's the idea anyway. Open to feedback, obviously, as always. Just trying to get the taper relatively matched, which I think I have now. I'm going to get through for some sandpaper. I'm running quite low on my low grit sandpaper. So I've got to find something that's not overkill. I don't want to hit it with 80. Got some lower grit stuff in the smaller pads, so we'll use that. I like it, but it's more about if he likes it. Yes, this is true. And the feedback I got this morning was that he wasn't looking how it was coming together, so that is always a positive. Mainly ask for your opinion because you're a fellow maker, Mike, and you might have some ideas that I haven't thought of in terms of style and design. All right, let's try and get this one sanded up a bit. The banjo out of the way. That's not good for anybody. You know, I did think about that, Mike. about the shrinkage and that, and I wasn't sure whether it would shrink or expand, because if it cracks, it's going to come off center, if that makes sense, and kind of expand in a way. What was your second comment? I was picturing the plug with more Japanesey pagoda-style curves. I didn't want to keep much of a gap between them when they were joined. That was where I was struggling with the sort of style, and that's why I just did a very subtle sort of ridge. Otherwise, I just feel like it's going to be a really, really long piece once it's all joined together. So I was trying to keep as minimal gap between them as I could. Just throw away the sander pad. Why not? I think it's power sanding time. I'm already over hand sanding. Still a bit more to get that cut mark out. Yeah, I was thinking about that, a double, like having two lid options. I was thinking, I'll make this lid up how I was sort of envisioning it, and then just tell him if it doesn't work when it's all said and done and needed, I can just make him a new one to allow for more design options for the lid. Because yeah, well, that's true as well. I suppose I could just make a decorative one for now. I'm not really sure what Japanese style you guys mean, though. Flick us through some pictures over on Instagram or something for me to have a look at. So I really got the, so I'm thinking the same as what you are. Just going to put a little plug on Instagram, see if we can get some people to come join us. Come hang out. Sorry, always takes a bit. I'll get this post up and then we'll get back to the action. Promise. Alright. Things coming your way on Instagram of the type of lid I was picturing once my computer stops being a weak ass bitch. Alright. Hasn't come through yet. I'm just going to hit this with 120 while I wait for it to come through. there's some deep scratches, eh? Holy dooly, that's fancy. All right, I can try something like that, Mike. I can try something like that. Give it a go. Double check and make sure all those sanding marks are out because I'm short on sandpaper, as I said, so I'm jumping from 80 to 180, which isn't ideal. It takes a bit more work to get all the marks out, which I haven't done. out. Yeah, I don't mind the idea of a decorative cap. That's probably a good shout. I was debating on whether to do two or one, so I think we'll lean into it and go with that. Right, I need to find some 240. I still number two. Oh, I'd say that's because Eric was here first, mate. What is this top fans nonsense? I can't even. Oh, there we go. I can open it. Oh, Eric's got 100 points. Mike, you got 75. You're closing in, mate. You're closing in. I'm not sure how you get XP, but you're getting close. Turn that bloody noise off for a while. While we run through the final bits and pieces of finishing. Contributing or by paying money through super chats, and I don't have any of that. Yeah, come on, Mike, you got to up your super chats, mate. That's the only way to get number one. All right. Let's hit it with custom grid again, eh? Now my rag's got a little bit of cedar on it now from the cedar dye I used yesterday for that cap. That's all right, though. All right. Move on to step 2. I get put to the back of the list on your chat, Mike. It's a stupid system anyway. I was so confused when they introduced it. Sure is. Doesn't mean much. I don't even know what system you guys are talking about. What system? What's the go? I'm out of touch. Out of touch with YouTube, mate. Step 2, custom grit. Doesn't look like this anymore. If you want to buy some, it's got a cool new design on the logo sticker thing. This is like OG tin. The fact that I still have this just shows how little I've been in the shop in the last couple of years. like awkwardly standing off to the side to try and give you guys a better view, so hope you appreciate that. This feels very strange doing this over here. Not sure why you're bothering to finish it when you're going to have to do it again after the inside anyway. Just because finishing it's fun, Mike. That's all. And look at that. It looks so much better. Plus, what if, like, what if this one doesn't boil through the pores like the one yesterday did? Then I've just saved myself time at the end. I guess we'll find out. Okay. Japanese pool saw. It feels like it's just about there. It's pinching. There we go. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. So, I think I mentioned yesterday, when I harvested this, I didn't have any sealant for the ends. You're wasting precious custom grit. I didn't have any like proper sealant for the ends, so I just spray painted the ends to slow the drying process down, reduce the cracking. You can sort of see on that piece over there too. That's the offcuts of this, but that's why it's green. But it's actually seeped in to the wood. Like, look how far down that's actually gone. It's in the grain all the way down here. You can actually see that green paint over here. It seeped right in to the timber. Thought that was pretty cool. It is kind of weird doing this stuff live, isn't it? You can tell I had that on there nice and tight because that was on there good and proper. I remember I used to save all of these when I first started wood turning. Don't know why, but I used to keep them all. All right. Time for the scary bit. I guess today it's not going to be so scary, is it? Because we kind of know what to expect. But I hope not. I hope this tenon. Oh, that was lucky. I hope that tenon lines up. I didn't actually check that. Certainly not spinning dead true. That's pretty close. Can we line that up? Yeah, that's got to be the issue here, eh? Because for that to be lined up, that would have to be over there. Oh. Okay, maybe not. Let's lock it in there. Okay, we'll go with that. Yes, not quite. Not quite dead true. Right. See if we get the burning on the let the jaws grab onto the tenon again today. Get that on nice and tight. All right. Are we doing the same drilling system we did yesterday? Keeping scraps is a thing we all do. It's so dumb. I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I've been going through my scraps and slowly throwing them out. It's a hard process, though. Yes, we are going to do the same drilling system as yesterday. I haven't sharpened up that big Forstner bit, but I'll give him a few touch-ups again today and we'll just plod our way through. I'm just going to run inside and grab a drink quickly, and then we will switch over to the Jacobs chuck. Still got that there from yesterday with the big boy on, but we'll switch over. We'll start at 1 inch and work our way up to 3. All right, I might just shuffle you guys back a bit so I can get to the tooling that I need to get to. You're going to be able to see that? Hopefully. Okay. Oh, excuse me. That dust is starting to get to me again. That moisture, because I sent the Jacobs chuck right down into the piece yesterday, that moisture, just throw it around, is really gotten right in there. The burning and everything's all over it. Put some silicone spray on it and see if that helps. A little bit, still feels a bit. Bit full on in there. A bit more. This bloody silicone spray everything in this workshop. So close to the beach that it bloody just rusts anyway. So, all right. Camera's in the way. Come around the back. live center out. Jacob's chuck in. And then start at, we started at 38 mil actually, didn't we? That was fine yesterday too, 38 mil, so no point starting all the way down at 1 inch if we can get away with starting at 38 mil. Oh man, every time I need some sort of backer behind there, so when I drop these things down, they just fall to the front. All right. Nothing left to do but to do it, I guess. Okay, let's see if we get smoking as much as we did yesterday. Now, I should probably get the dusty back on as well. Oh, I just sent that. Oh, see, now that doesn't line up again with the center pin. So how, when I centered that with the live center on, lock that down in place, is it now not centered to the force and a bit center? And this is way off now as well. I think that's about as good as it's going to come, which is still pretty much where it was, but it's not dead center, which really, really frustrates me. Why are you not dead center? I wonder, it could be to do with that too, couldn't it? Why is that not locking down? Because that now is dead center. Now if I lock my headstock back down, maybe it was a simple case of that. I can't see how would the Jacobs chuck not be true? A little. I don't know. We'll send it there and we'll see, I guess. My hand is killing me from smashing that, from locking down the tailstock yesterday. So it's the hammer today to do that for sure. Dust extraction. Let's go. That's about as deep as we're going to get with this bit. Switch over. Yes, these bits are basically, this is the first time I've used them. I bought a set a while ago. And this is the first time I've used a lot of the sizes. So they are brand new. Hence, a hell of a lot sharper than that 3-inch bit. That's kind of satisfying. Not great for heat build-up though. It smells like wine, weirdly. I don't know what the deal with that is. At some point here, I should probably check what depth we're at, eh? I haven't really been paying attention. Let's measure. 160. So we're roughly to about there. We want to go 250 again, I'm thinking. So 90 mil to go. Alright, so I can measure now. 90 mil, I've got that extension on my tailstock. So if we start there, trouble is I don't know what there is. All of my numbers are gone at those lower points, so that's 5. We've got to have at least done 2 seconds by now. Tell you what, I wish I didn't have to go bigger because these are cutting so much better than that big piece, than that big Forcer bit. G'day mate, how are ya, Todd? If you hit the chuck, you've gone too far. Ain't that the truth? That's the one and only thing I don't like about custom grit. When you have voids and cracks and stuff, it gets in there and it's kind of a pain to dig out. That's true, and that is, it's normally at that point that I would use the liquid wax instead. But I haven't got any. I haven't tried heat. That's one thing I think would fix it. If you just heat it up, it should melt away, right? Oh, it's getting difficult to pull out of there. Let's do a depth check. Last thing I want at this point is to blast through the bottom. So 225, 25 more mil to go. That's decent. So if I go to 6, that's a bit close. We don't need to be that close. 7. That should go full extension. Be pretty close to where we want to be. That should be about it. No, Mike, I haven't got any bigger bits. This is my biggest in the kit, unfortunately. Ooh, just under 250. I think I'm going to run it down another 2 mil, just so we get that full depth. Perfect. All right. How's that looking? Lovely. That was actually really fairly simple to do, wasn't it? Gives us a nice solid weight at the base as well, which is good. Hold it upright with the sort of reverse taper shape. Right. Does anyone have any force and a bit sharpening tips? Because it is a monotonous task, that's for sure. Now just another hour or so of drilling. Yes, with the dull-ass big boy. You're doing it the same way I do. Well, that's good to know. Thanks, mate. Wasn't sure if anyone had any hints and tips. Oh, he takes the lead. Oh, you got it, did you, Mike? It's fine. Hey, guys, keep commenting. It only does wonders for the video, so just buy a new one. This is a bloody expensive Forstner bit, this one, mate. It's well worth learning to sharpen if I can figure it out. I mean, that actually does feel really sharp now, so that's good. That's good. That is clogged up. Now it's time to steam dry this from the inside. Alright. Let's do this. I know a lot of people sharpen them, but I can't be bothered. By the time it's dull, it doesn't owe me anything. I'll just pony up for anyone. There. Was that the extra 400? This one is 400 grit. 400 grit diamond. I used to have a 200 that I would have preferred to use, but I'm not sure where that is. I could only find the 400 and the 600. Funnily enough, that was the very first I bought a set of 3 of these as my very first sharpening instruments when I started woodworking, and I used to attempt to sharpen my wood turning tools with that as well. Amazing when we go back to our roots. Now that is not playing the game either. All right. I'm going to have to do some research and figure out the best way to really dial in the alignment on this lathe. Need to tighten that up more. I thought that was bloody tight. Yeah, righto, Todd. I guess I could run it up higher. I just figure I'll touch it up. That's even with the lathe tools on this project. I would normally sharpen them at 3,000 on the belt, but I dropped the belt right down to a 240 and then today a 120 just because I'm just continually touching them up anyway. Maybe yeah, some cuts, man, like one cut into Jarrah and it's dull and dead. This does not seem like it's going to be a very fun venture. That bit is just spinning. absolutely just spinning. I can't tighten that down anymore. That's interesting. The whole tailstock just moves instead. Steaming that timber again. Absolutely steaming that timber again. God, this is going to take forever. This is going to take forever. That's not a bad idea. Let's try that, Todd. It'll be nice and hot, so it should just, melt straight around it. Which it is doing. Oh, that is cooking. Absolutely cooking. lot of vibration going on, eh? Oh, it'll cook. Don't worry, mate. It'll cook. We were running at like 150 degrees in there yesterday. Let's do it. We've got 112.7, 131.1, 132.5 at the hottest point on the bit. Now that is full of sawdust in there, but I'm reading 61.2 inside. $52.6. I've just blasted it with cold air though. That's still over 100. The force of it's still sitting over 100 degrees. Still sitting at 120. She warm. She is warm. Let's do a depth check while I'm here, I guess. Ah, 160, only 90 mil to go. 5, 4. So it's about 3 there. No, I do not have smoke alarms in here. I've got a fire extinguisher, mate. I just don't have smoke alarms. I do too much laser work and wood burning to have smoke alarms in here. Plus, it's technically the garage, so I don't reckon you need it. Oh, 195.9. That's pretty hot. That's 208. Right on the tips of those teeth, 208 degrees. Woo. About 80 degrees, 79 degrees max in there. How much sawdust is in there though? 75.2 is the max temp I've hit so far. 70 odd degrees in there. Over 200 on the truck though. That's insane. Interesting. I don't have any straight beeswax, so actually I do. I just remembered I do have that shit hot wax stick. But this is a tin of wood goo that I've got. So it's got the mineral oil in it too, but I can smell it just cooking it as soon as I put it on there. But I forgot I got that wax stick that would probably melt on there really nicely. Where are we at depth wise? 215. Close. We're getting close. It feels like this one's come together a lot faster than yesterday's. Generally, I guess always the case, isn't it, when you're just repeating. So if I need 35 mil, there's a measurement I can read. That's 7 meters there. So we'll run that to 75, and that should be at depth. Let's go. Wow. There's a lot going on in there. Come on. Legs. Just about there. Let's turn that off. Have a look at these comments and then I will have a look inside. Yes, if I no, so I did the 38 and then I went up to 50 mil. But then I jumped up to this one, which is 80 mil. So that was the problem. If I had like a 60 or 70 mil, it would have been a bit better to have in the middle there. I would have grabbed the Pro Hollower already. I don't have a Pro Hollower. I do have carbides. I blame it for not going to it and risking a catch on this, that's a lot of unsupported weight that you really don't want to be. Yeah, it's 250 mil deep. That's a long extension, and I just know that I'll get a catch. And I just really did not want to go down that route, so some interesting colorings going on in there. Let's have a look inside and see if we are at depth. Oh yeah, we are. Beautiful. Turn that dust extractor off for a minute. Some of this dust away from here. There is dust on everything. My neighbours hate me. Scary stuff. Yeah, I would not want to be spinning that at 1500 RPM and get a catch. It is still pretty solid. I told you you'd be refinishing the outside again. Yes, I certainly will be. That's all right. I won't have to refinish all the way down to there. I'll just sort of blend the sanding grit by grit. Mainly get that top end refinished. Hit that inside top with some 80 grit. But at least that hollowing's done. That's the main thing. What? Oh, I'm glad that's over. Pretty close to finishing now, really. Get that sanded up and then just make a new, figure out what we're going to do about the front situation. Alright. 80 grit. Dust extractor back on. One thing I'm not overly happy with is that the chattering at the start has given me like a bit of a lip there, which is going to make that opening wider slightly. concerned, obviously, with the inside. Blast out first. Right. Pretty happy with how that's looking. We've got the same sander. Love that thing. Yeah, it's a bloody ripper sander, isn't it? Whereabouts are you, Todd? Whereabouts in the world, mate? All right. Custom grit, step 1 and 2 again. And we are just about done here. Just about done. That's bloody crazy. See, Mike, I've only got to refinish the top half. That's why I finished it before, mate. Method to the madness. Right. Didn't think that compressor was ever going to end. Okay, step 2. You know what? I truly, deep down in my heart, believed that I would finally get through this tin of step 2 on this project, but I just don't think I will. Not unless I just absolutely smother the cap in it. Then we might. I'm pretty sure we've chatted a long time ago in one of Mark's lives. You used to travel to places and set up your lathe and turn right. Yes, I did, mate. A traveling turner series. Should have done way better than it did, but YouTube is stupid and dumb. Yeah, that flopped hard. That was a ridiculous amount of outlay and work on that, and that did flop hard. I had lots of fun doing it. I was actually saying yesterday that episode 9, I believe, of that series was shot on the family's property who I'm making these urns for. So yeah, this timber comes from just down the road, actually, from where that episode was shot. But yes, the traveling turner, I had huge hopes for that. I really, really, really hoped that would take off and I would do multiple seasons in all different states, and you know, it could have grown into anything. Different states, different countries, anything. But yeah, just never got any traction. I was actually going to look into how to submit it to places like Amazon Prime, because I've noticed a lot of YouTubers popping up on Amazon Prime recently with their unscripted TV shows section. I probably don't have anywhere near enough followers for what they're after, I guess, but I've got to look into how to do that, see if I can submit it. If anyone knows, please fill me in. I haven't looked into it yet, but that could be cool. Get it up on Amazon Prime. Might get a little bit more love that way. All right. Now, the one thing I've been wondering since starting is how well that other plug will just fit straight in here. Straight in. But so I think it was the wandering of the bit initially which has caused that tiny bit of that works so well. Like that just sits in there. It's such a shame. I wonder, could I pad that out with leather? It's probably not worth it, eh? It's probably just don't be lazy and just turn another one. Let's put them together. I don't know if I'll actually be able to get you guys far enough away. I'll do my best not to block your view. Oh, cheers, Todd. I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate. Yeah, watch me unbox this vacuum and it gets a ton of views, or watch me review these bloody lithium batteries, or yeah. It is mental that those videos do so much better. I mean, I love it in one sense because it is like they are super easy videos put together. But yeah. So that there is the final result. This one's slightly larger, but I don't think that's a concern. They'll both hold the same volume, and you've got a masculine and feminine one. I actually don't mind that at all. How did we go size-wise? Deceivingly, I mean, there's only a couple of mil in that. This one looked a lot longer, just holding it there for some reason. I don't know why that one looks longer there, but there is barely, I'd say barely 2 mil in that, which would be that, I don't know if anyone noticed, but that little jump I had with the parting tool when I was rounding the bottom off here was about 2 mil, so that's probably where that's gone. But I'll try and bring that camera in a bit closer. That's what I was talking about, Mike, when I wanted them to sit as close as they possibly could together and just have a very minimal reveal between them. That's where I got that sort of shape from. So, yeah, that was the idea. Together they kind of still, yeah, sit nicely, I think. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Let me know. Let me know. Certainly got some weight in them still, though. You could wrap it with cork or leather. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Wrap it with leather. I think I've only got really thick leather left, though, in my supply. So maybe I just turn some other ones that then we can just hammer them in. You could wrap it with cork or leather. Hey, Jack's first time here. Vincent, g'day, mate. Thanks for joining us. I'm right in close to the end. We've turned 2 of these urns. Just got to turn a cap to join them both together now. Those videos make sense, though. If you're thinking about getting a new tool, you're going to watch videos of people who have brought it. That's how I originally found Mike. Yes, that's very true, Todd. Very true. And that's why they perform so well. And that's why I do the Aussie Tool Review series, because they do perform quite well. They keep the channel floating over time. You know, probably went a solid good 2 years or so without posting, and they still kept the channel plodding along. So yeah, Mike's here too, mate. My arch nemesis, old Mike. All right. Just got to take that off and cut that tendon down, I guess. Let's do it. Ooh, still got a little bit of the burning this time, Mike. Nowhere near as bad as yesterday, but it's definitely still there. It's crazy. It must heat that chuck up so much. That turned out nice, though. I really like the crack inclusions in this one. Alfred, g'day, mate. How's Melbourne treating you? And this is almost bordering on curly here, I reckon. That's got some real nice chatoyance to it. Very happy with that. It will be interesting to see how well they age because they won't be buried for a while. So that's why, for those who weren't here from the start, still relatively green, this timber. So it's sitting, what were we, between 25 and 30% moisture. But that wasn't overly a concern because they are going to be buried. So the timber comes directly from the family's property. They're obviously a couple of urns. Yeah, but that chatoyance is wicked in this one. Absolutely wicked. Let's see if we can come up with some sort of cap that actually fits this time, eh? Now, seeing as they were bored out with the same bit, you would think the internal dimensions would be the same, but I don't know if that's the case or not. So that's bang on there. So we kind of want to make that a little bit tight to get in there. I'm just going to check the other one. So that just fits there. That just gets in the other one, but that slips in here fairly easily. So we're going to make it to fit the bigger one with the theory that we're just going to have to hit it harder with a hammer. So because it's getting buried, I don't want to glue the cap in with epoxy or glue or anything because we want it to be able to naturally break down over time. So just a super solid friction fit is the goal here, which should be that point there, hopefully. The thing is, I can't really test the friction fit because I feel like I won't get it back out if I really hammer it in there. So we don't want to do that until ashes are inside and it's, ready to be sealed up properly. So this should give me a good point of reference for, well, the thin point, I guess. So that should be there. Back up there. That's amazing. Thanks, Vincent. Cheers, mate. We're the best nemesis. Nemesis. Mike, it's Vinny from Pittsburgh. Cold. Oh, yes, it's starting to get cool over this way, mate. Looking good. Thanks, Eric. I watch Todd all the time too. Everyone knows everyone. I wouldn't think that based on how much the bit wandered, but it was going. They're probably at least 64th different. You got to just throw a 64th in there, don't you, Mike? Jack's just subscribed. Thanks, Vincent. Appreciate that, mate. You could glue it in with hide glue. It's all natural and will decompose too. That's true, but I don't have any hide glue. So I like to get things done with what I've got, Mike. That's all right. That's all right. It won't take long to knock up a new centerpiece for it anyway. So, and then hey, at the end of the day, I've still got the original one there. So if I want to keep the original one, I can. It won't take much. Okay. Anyone done that before? Left the locking pin in there and just totally forgot about it and then turned the lathe on? Not a great time. Not a great time at all. Got heaps of leftover, well, not heaps, I've got 2 pieces about that size left over from yesterday's little experiment. So that's handy. Gotta get this, get the live center back in this tailstock and just turn it between centers. Hit up Bunnings. Oh, look at you, Mike, getting fancy with your Aussie words, eh? Look at you go. Bunnings is like a 40-minute drive each way for me, mate. So, nah, probably 30-minute drive each way. Not happening today. Not happening today. How's that? It's a little bit off center, but I'll recenter it. That's fine. What did I just do with that hammer? There. My hand is so sore from smacking that yesterday. Tool rest, tool rest, tool rest, tool rest. Where did I put you? Terrible for that. Just put stuff down and, yeah, never see it again. All right, get this centered. Anything in the chat? And stop by Macca's on the way home. Macca's is right next door to Bunnings, actually. In your ute. Haven't got a ute anymore, mate. 12:30 a.m, so got to get to bed. Nice meeting you, Jax. You too, Vincent. Cheers for tuning in, man. Sleep well. All right, let's get Dusty back on and get this turned. Tighten that down. Really have not got a lot to play with here. Right. At all. See if I can find it. So they've got vehicles there. Lovely, nice one, Eric. Camouflage my Canadian as we're speaking, Aussie. See you later, Todd. Cheers for joining in, man. Yeah, nah. I agree, Eric. Yeah, nah. I think you would love Australia, Mike. I reckon he would. I reckon he would. It's not a bad place. That was brutal. Right, we're all right. Man, that's smashed in there. Okay, we're good. Good. I'm assuming that was just sitting on the lathe. Oh, cut my finger open though. Whoops. Okay, so that tape is going to have to come down. It's alright. I can do that. There's not going to be enough material on this one to actually have a little ridge in it, though, unfortunately. So that kind of sucks. That fits. That fits. I suppose it's a matter of where we want to bottom out. Transfer is probably the wrong tool for this, isn't it? So transfer this measurement. Yeah. pass through. Yeah, everyone's okay. I just split my thumb open a little bit. That's all right. These things happen. These things happen, boys. Sweet. And I think that's all we've got. I'm just going with, I don't like how that's come off the tool anyway, so I don't think this is going to work. So I'm going to have to sand too much. Yeah. Looking all right. scene. I was just making it to the bigger size, Mike. Thinking it can be hit harder on the smaller one. Make it fit. Gonna have to put a mortise on that side as well. Alright. Throw a little mortise in this side. Yeah, I'll dye it while it's on the lathe, Mike. Very shortly, actually. I just want to put this mortise in before I take it off, and then we'll check the fit. Cannot get the right access this close to the bloody tailstock. Yeah, I think I like the bigger bead as well on the other one. I agree with you there, mate. The moisture coming out of that once you're going into the end grain. Look at that. That's mental. All right. Well, this will give it a bit of a clean, and then we can test the fit and dye it. Then we're done here. So what, like another 2 years until I go live next time? Okay. I'll be back. So we can bring it down thinner because it doesn't quite close in as much as I would like. So we might be able to get that bigger bead on here after all. Kind of sucks out the sand here, but hey. That's the joy of the game we play here, isn't it? Just going to touch this chisel up. All right, and then we're going to bring that down. Yeah, well, that's the other potential. But if this one has a better press fit, look, ideally, I would rather just have one lid. So we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Okay. Let's see if that fits better. Still come down more. Okay. Make that one. back and forth at this point, fine tuning. Okay, that'll hammer in. That side's good. Okay, that side's good. Just going to take this one down ever so slightly. Beautifully. Oh, you bastard. Doesn't. Damn it. But that'll work in there. That's a press fit. Right. So press fits in there. Oh shit. Mortise is not on the side that it needs to be on. Let's fine tune this. Took it too far. Took it too far. It'll still work, I just have to reverse it, which means the mortise is on the wrong side. Which kind of sucks. A little speed. Okay. I don't know what to do here. I don't want to put the mortise on the other side. It's a lot of work. Maybe she won't be apples. Don't like the sound of that muttering. I believe I just heard swearing. Idea. Alright, fire away. What's your idea, Mike? What is your idea? Let's hear it. So, that's perfect there. That'll hammer in beautifully. That side, a bit tighter, but will, I believe, hammer in and seat right down. Oh. Still got to finish the bottom of that one. This one, however, that was supposed to be the side for it. This side is a good press fit. Like, that seats in there well enough. I think minor swelling once I put the dye on should make that a good fit. I suppose all my problems would be solved if we seal this one first and then keep that one for second. For some reason I thought that was just the more feminine sort of one. I don't know. Has that idea come through, Mike? Little tiny bit of silicone caulking around the rim of the inside of the urn just to pad it out a mil or so and make a kind of gasket. Yes, that would work. I'm also, well, I'm just wondering if by the time this bigger one gets used, yeah, if we will. I think I'll stick to the plan. If I mount, I think that'll seat in there real nice. We'll mount that in and we'll rely on expansion and contraction that everyone loves to talk about so much. Maybe a mil, half a mil in there. A mil all up, half a mil either side. That, however, will sit nicely in there. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. We need, man, I thought I was nearly done, but I've still got to clean up the bottom of that other urn, take the tannin off, laser engrave it. Still probably another hour's work or so there. Okay. Let's hope this mortise is okay, because I didn't check that. Have I done the same thing again? Bugging myself up with that. I have. I need to cut that off. All right. I don't want to mar up the surface. Put that there. Go. That's a bit better. Oh, look at that, it's actually spinning true. How good. Okay. I'm going to cut that off because that exploded last time and I did not enjoy that, so. There we go. Makes it a bit easier. Tool rest, tool rest, tool rest. I've lost it again. There it is. Right. It should shrink a bit as it dries. I love when other people have the same stupid problems I get myself into. Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it, Mike? It is annoying. Now, you guys are going to be able to, yeah, you should be able to see from there. I think I'm going to just stick to the original cave up and then dip in. I don't know why. I think I just want to keep it simple. On this one. That was a pretty satisfying cut, that one. I kind of want to bring that a bit wider. mean, that's actually straight off the tool. That's pretty good without any scraping. That's got to be some of the best cuts I've ever done, I think, especially into end grain. Keep it simple is really not a good idea. That's it, Mike, especially this close to finishing, mate. That's more my fault, is I'm so close now. I don't want some silly bit of ego to stuff me up. That there I do not like, though. There is a ridge there. I'm going to have to do one more pass, I think. Risky, but hope for the best. Woo. I think that's it. Or you just emphasize that line with the parting tool and make it an accent. I'll tell you what, I don't mind that idea. Because that looks awful. All right, let's see what that looks like, Mike. I like how that looks now. Go with that. This is also terrifying. So close now. Well, see, Mike, this is what I was talking about before. This is why I ask you these things, mate. I need to hit that one again, make that a bit cleaner. I don't mind that at all. Oh, tripod's not standing. Okay. Give that a blast out with some air. Run some 180 in those grooves if I can. And then we're going to dye this. All right. Go. What a team, exactly, Eric. Teamwork. Now, I actually quite like how this cedar dye came out. I have to lather it on there to get in those grooves. Make sure it gets right in there. It's strangely quite thick, this dye, which I wasn't expecting. Oh, no, gotta get some more in there. Oh no, bro. There we go. Dyeing my my chuck cedar as well at the same time. Now, what do I do about these grooves being full of dye now? Oh wow, really full of dye. There's heaps in there. I don't particularly want to get the air hose and blast the dye out because it'll go everywhere, but got a feeling that might be the only choice here. It's really caked in there. All right. The worst part is this is the end of this project, which means I need to clean up after. Okay, I think I got most of that out. What timber species? Wandoo, mate. Brush might work better in there. Teamwork makes the dream work. That is true. Yeah, Alfred, this is Wandoo, mate. Picked off the family's property. And then I just wanted a bit of a contrasting timber for this plug section, this lid section, but the sentimental value, I wanted to keep it the same timber. So a bit of cedar dye on there. Comes up quite lovely. Gonna hit it with some custom grit. And then it's done. As you've probably established, this is why my custom grit rag has gone red. Don't know how I'm going to do the custom grit around that, though. Mike, if you do this all the time, what do you do there? Ain't no way you'll be fishing it out of there. All right. Step one done. Ah, toothpick. Okay, paper towel and a toothpick. Gotcha. Gotcha. I'm going to be in here until sunset at this rate. All right. That is done, my friends. Yes, I was very, very light on the end with the custom grit. Very light. Just the slightest bit of residue, really. Tell you what, though, it actually still got in there. Little bugger. It did still get in there. So obviously that's got to be hammered in to be seated. Don't know what kind of weird ass cedar trees you guys have down there. That colour. Red cedar, mate. Red cedar. No, that's just what. That was just the colour of the dye. It wasn't called red. It was called cedar. I don't know why. But hammer on that, and that will seat in there very well. So I'll give my mate both of them, and he can. I do like that one. It sits. It's a lower profile, isn't it? It is a lower profile. Kind of works for that one though, as well. It works. There's a nice ridge there that it will bottom out on too once it's hammered in. I'm worried that I won't get it back out, but definitely should have done that the other way. Excuse the mess. There is stuff everywhere. They came up pretty cool. Man, this tripod doesn't want to just adjust. Came up pretty cool. Happy with that. And look at the chatoyance, man. That's just, that is lovely. I like the tall one. Funny thing is, there's only like a mil or two in the height difference. It's a proper optical illusion. I mean, that one's obviously still got the tenon on. I've got to cut it off, so that might be why it looks even bigger. But once that tenon's off, there's not going to be much in it. They should both be pretty dead on size-wise. Length-wise, this one's just slightly wider. But I think it gives a like a masculine, feminine sort of contrast. I've got to get that tenon off though. But I'm not going to stay on the live stream to get that tenon off. So, let's see if we can. I'll swap this camera around. Say good day to you guys for a minute, and then I'll get back to it. I'll end the live stream, and I'll finish it off. Man, this workshop is such a mess. You would not believe that I actually had this place in order not that long ago. Like 2 days ago. It was nice and neat. It's chaos again. That tenon, you know what I did actually after I ended the live stream yesterday? I remounted that original one using the opening as the mortise. Remounted that so that I could get a cleaner finish on the bottom. So I might do that for that one there. Might do that again. It was sketchy. I was very, very worried. But hey, it came out pretty good. So the brand on the bottom, again, optical illusion, because the pit's there, it's like throwing it. It doesn't look centered at all. But I measured, and it is. So, yeah. Number one, optional cap. I suppose that can, while this is empty, that can just sit with that cap. Make it look pretty good. I tell you what though, I do think number 2 is my favourite purely because it's got that chatoyance in the timber. Like, that is a nice piece of timber. Let's do this more often, maybe at least make a Patreon post to let those people know in advance. Yeah, sorry man. Hey, in my defense, I didn't even know in advance, really. I mean, yesterday it was just a spur of the moment thing. Today, I knew a little bit in advance, but not much. Not much. Appreciate you, mate. Thanks for hanging out. I'll talk to you soon. But yeah, I'm stoked with that one. That is a good press fit that way too. So that could always, because that side then hammers into the other one. So that could always be, oh wow, that is airtight. That just bounced. That just bounced with the air in it. So it could always just be displayed that way. And then when it comes time to actually using the other one, take the cap out, hammer that cap in that way. Because that's press fit in there. That's sealed. And then hammer that one on there. That'll be the way to go, I think. Don't want to hammer that in just yet. But yeah. Well, cheers for hanging out, legends. I really do appreciate it. I've been gone a very, very long time. As Mike said, I should let my Patreons know. I do have a Patreon. There are still people there, absolute legends, because I have not been putting much over on Patreon. Patreon are doing a huge switch up at the moment. I keep getting emails about it. It looks like they're trying to turn the whole platform into like another form of social media in a sense, but it seems better than existing platforms. So I might have to spend some time back over there. What? I think that's it. We are done. Thank you very much for joining, legends. And I will see you all on the next one. Maybe it won't be too soon. Too far away. Maybe. Thank you for showing us. No worries, Alfred. I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate. Thanks for coming and hanging out. See you, mate. See you later, Eric. Cheers for jumping on again, man. I really do appreciate the support. You are always around. It is wicked, man. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully it won't be 2 years' time.